All right, so today I'm breaking down what is my favorite durable grit paddle and why, and just talking about all the different types of grit they have out there. So before we do that, let's just say congrats to this guy for winning a prize. DM me and everyone else. Be sure to subscribe and tag your friend who needs a durable grit paddle because their paddle is wearing through all the way to the middle. All right, so let's get started with what is my favorite paddles out of the bunch of all of these, and I'll rank them all. So let me just reorganize them here. I got everything from a Honolulu J2CR, Boomstick, Infinigrate, then Spartus, Aireo, 11624, Engage, and 60. So let me just reorder these ones a little bit. I got move this one around. Okay, cool. So, which paddles would I actually play with in what order? So, let's just start with the top. So, the one that I actually been liking the most is the Gator Strike Armor. So this one has very durable grit. So it's basically peel-ply with some like texture, like durability applied to it. So actually, what's interesting with this paddle is so the way that it plays is it's high pop, but it's very stable based upon the foam that they put inside of the paddle. So even though it comes off really fast, everywhere around the paddle is like a large sweet spot. And so the grit here, uh, it actually like gets better with time because as it hits these little like logos, I don't know if you can see it on there. Oh yeah, as it hits those logos, it actually gets sharper there. So I compared it with the brand new Gator Strike Armor I had. So this is like kind of smooth grit across the whole face, but with this one, it's as I hit the ridges, it actually gets a little bit grittier there. So this has kind of been my favorite so far. Next up, I like the J2CR is second. So I think the playability of this paddle is really good, right? So I thought it was initially maybe a little bit overhyped. It wasn't as gritty as I was expecting based upon kind of the pictures that are out there where it's like shows sparkles like everywhere. But actually, as I was comparing this compared to someone else who had this J2CR like blue grit endurance, like mine wasn't as gritty as theirs. And so I wasn't sure why. Maybe it's variance between the batches or maybe kind of changes as you play more. But I think overall the paddle is very forgiving. I like the shape of the hybrid, uh, very forgiving across the face, but it still has a lot of power. And yeah, the grit pretty good. Definitely curious to see how it lasts. It is only UPA approved, meaning you can only play with it in certain types of tournaments. So be sure to make note of that when checking out this paddle. But definitely up there. Yeah, it's a little bit. Yeah, and then all these paddles have discount codes, so be sure to check those out if you're looking to get one. I like the next. I would play with the Selkirk uh, Boomstick. So this has the Infinigrate, which is their spray-on surface, which is pretty durable. Except when it does wear out, it gets smoother, I think, than other paddles comparably. Um, but the grit does last a long time. Just it smoothens out a little bit more than other paddles once it gets to its lifetime of use. So this is definitely high power, high pop, pre-weighted. So I think this is really good out of the box. But for my preference, generally it's a little bit too heavy, so I actually like to take off the MOI weights and adjust it down a little bit. Next, I like the Spartus, not the GT, but actually the P1. So it uses the same Permagrit, which is kind of a very fine like texture, almost like really fine sand. So it's durable in that way, but it's very gritty where it's like almost like chalkboard to sound, but it definitely is lasting from that standpoint. It is a little bit head heavy, but it's a good like springy, forgiving feel on the P1. The next, I got the Cyclone Aireo. This is high pop, so if you're looking for something for really fast counters, this is really good. Their grit is a little bit different, where the grit is actually under the surface, so that's how they keep the durability, but it's kind of more smooth to the touch. So if you can handle the high pop on a paddle, this does come in very light at I think like 7.7. So if you like light, aggressive, high pop paddles, that's not like super trampoline-y, but it's kind of just more linear but very high power. Check this Cyclone Aireo out with their Nanograph grit. Next up, I like the 11624 Power 2. So it felt a little bit stiffer of a paddle compared to, say, like the J2CR. But I think this one probably has the best grit. It has their Hex Grit, which is very rough. But also, again, it is only UPA approved, meaning you can only use it in certain tournaments. But I think it has the highest grit out there. Just my preference is not the greatest feel of the paddle because it is a little bit stiffer, in my opinion, than other paddles. And then we get down to the Engage Alpha Pursuit. This one, I mean, it had like durable grit here because it's like a very rough, coarse like weave. But the paddle itself, performance-wise, wasn't all that amazing. Just kind of mid-tier, like kind of all court. So yeah, I wish they put this grit on one of their newer paddles. I don't know why they didn't do that, but kind of my take on their durable grit. And then the last is the Black Opal. Very high power, except for you have to hit the sweet spot right in the center. It has their Diamond Tough texture, which is longer lasting, but the paddle itself, I wouldn't rate it all that high in terms of actual playability. So that's kind of my take on all these durable grit paddles, which ones I would actually play with in what order, even though they kind of vary in terms of the roughness of paddles and how long they would last. So let me know if you have any questions. Be sure to subscribe, comment your friend who needs a durable grit paddle, and take a look for the next giveaway. All right, see you guys.